Most fleet owners don't stay small because they're lazy. They stay small because they're trapped in a system and they fail to realize that that system, well, is working against them. See, trucking is one of the only industries where you can generate serious revenue and still feel broke every single week. You can gross 20, 30, even 40K a week and still only be one major breakdown, one repair away from bankruptcy and going out of business. That's not trucking, y'all. That's financial quicksand. And if you don't understand why it's happening, you will spend your entire career running harder, earning more, and ultimately keeping less. In this video, I'm going to show you the real reason most owner operators in small fleets never scale past 1 or 2 trucks. And I'm going to break down the exact two-part system that fixes it. The fleet formula. It has 2 parts. Fleet freedom formula, how to keep more profits through operational control and by running in tight, consistent lanes with repeat customers and brokers. The fleet funding formula, how to access capital without using your own cash and without burning through reserves. And once you understand these 2 principles, scaling becomes math, not luck. Let me tell you the enemy that kills most trucking businesses. It's not the DOT. It's not repair shops. It's not brokers. It's something called chaos. Chaos in your lanes, chaos in maintenance, chaos in cash flow, chaos in your dispatch decisions. See, most fleet owners, they don't run a business. They're running a hustle. And a hustle always breaks under weight. It always cracks under the pressure. Here's the illusion. You book a great paying long haul load. You feel like you won. You feel like you're up. But what happens? Increase the expenses that you don't see. More fuel, more wear and tear, more breakdowns, more deadhead miles, more unpredictable freight decisions, and slowly, while you're not even realizing it, your profits is running out the back door. Your business turns into a machine that eats money because revenue is loud, but profit is quiet. And quiet things are easy to ignore. That's why I teach something called the fleet freedom formula. Because freedom, it comes from control. Control comes from consistency, and consistency comes from staying in tight, repeatable lanes and building relationships with repeat customers and brokers. That's why I tell my students and operators, stop chasing the whole country. Pick a metro area. Operate within a 150 to 200 mile radius of a major city or metro. Why? This does a couple things. Number one, because when your truck stays close, you gain power. You lessen your fuel burn. You reduce breakdown risks. You reduce stress. And you reduce wasted time hunting freight, looking on the load board, chasing customers and brokers. You keep your equipment close to the mechanics you trust, and you avoid emergency breakdowns. This is not theory, y'all. This is something that actually works. This is operational physics. Because entropy is real. The further you stretch your operation, the faster it decays. Let me give you some irrefutable facts. The 2 biggest killers of profits in trucking, everyone knows this. Fuel and maintenance. Fuel prices, they change daily. Repairs are unpredictable. And breakdowns don't ask for your permission. They happen when you least expect it or when you least can afford it. So if your business model depends on long haul chaos, your profit margin is permanently unstable. But if you run tight lanes and repeatable freight with repeat customers and brokers, you're building a predictable system. And predictable systems, can be scaled. That's not motivation. That's simple economics. Now, here's what most people get it wrong. They think scaling requires more trucks. No, scaling requires more capital. And most fleet owners hit the same brick wall. They run into the same ceiling. They can't buy another truck. They can't float repairs. They can't take advantage of the opportunities and freight that comes their way because they don't have access to funding. They don't have access to capital. That's why I teach the fleet funding formula. It's how you take the cash flow you're already generating and you build out multiple banking relationships and you stack interest-free capital. This allows you to access 50 to 150,000 without draining your personal savings. Because the real advantage isn't working harder. The real advantage is having capital available when everyone else is stuck. When you have capital, you move while others are hesitant, while others are stuck, while others are looking for resources. That's how you win. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, yeah, that's exactly what I need, then I want you to do two things. First, watch the next video on this channel because I break down the freedom side and the funding side step by step. And second, I host a free live weekly webinar where I teach the full fleet formula blueprint live. If you're serious about scaling your fleet the right way, not using luck, not guessing from week to week, not with adding stress and not with chaos, but with real structure, with real systems that actually work and actually scale, then I want you to click the link in below. I want you to sign up for one of my free upcoming weekly webinars, and I'll see you in the next video.